Good morning. Let me ask you something. Do you ever wake up feeling like your body is older than your mind? That first step out of bed comes with a wince, your joints feel stiff, and your head is filled with a kind of fog? For years, we've been told, that's just a normal part of getting older. It's a belief many of us have come to accept. But what if I told you that accepting this new normal is one of the most dangerous things you can do for your long-term health? What if those normal aches are actually a warning sign? A signal from your body that it's aging much faster than it should be. My name is Dr. Peterson. For over 30 years as a geriatric specialist, I've dedicated my life to helping people age not just longer, but better. And I'm here to tell you that feeling tired, foggy, and achy is absolutely not inevitable. It's a signal, and it is one we can address. I'm not talking about theory. Let me tell you about a dear patient of mine, Eleanor. When she first came to me at 74, she was on a dozen medications, could barely walk without pain, and was convinced she wouldn't see 80. She felt her independence slipping away. But today, at 94 years old, Eleanor lives all by herself, takes 0 prescription medications, and has more energy than most 60-year-olds I know. What changed for her? It wasn't some miracle drug or expensive therapy. It was 5 simple, almost cost-free habits she adopted into her mornings. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what those 5 habits are, and more importantly, the science behind why they are so powerful. And please, be sure to stay with me until the end. The 5th habit I'll reveal is the one that often surprises my patients the most. It takes just 7 minutes, and it has the power to change not just your physical health, but your entire outlook on life. It truly is a game changer. Everything I'll share is grounded in solid medical research from institutions like Harvard and Johns Hopkins, but explained in plain, simple English. No confusing jargon, I promise. Before we dive in, I truly want to know how many of us have faced this. If what I just described feels familiar, if you've ever felt that way, please take a moment to comment a simple yes below. It shows me you understand, and it shows others in our community that they are not alone. Okay, let's get started. Alright, let's begin with the first and most common morning mistake I see in my practice. A habit so deeply ingrained in our culture that it feels completely harmless. Mistake number 1. Skipping water and reaching straight for the coffee pot. I can almost hear it now. The sound of the alarm clock, followed by a groan. The slow shuffle to the kitchen, your eyes still half closed. And then, that familiar, wonderful aroma of brewing coffee. For so many of us, that first cup feels like a lifeline. It's the trusted friend that promises to wake us up, clear the fog, and get our engines started for the day. It's a ritual, a comfort. But as your doctor and as your friend, I have to share a difficult truth about this ritual. That first act of the day, reaching for coffee on an empty stomach, is actually setting your body up for a cascade of stress and failure that can last for hours. It may feel like it's helping, but it is actively working against your health. Let's look at the science in simple terms. While you sleep for 7 or 8 hours, your body is hard at work, repairing cells and consolidating memories. And all this activity uses water. You lose a surprising amount of fluid overnight, up to a full liter, just from the moisture in your breath and on your skin. So, you wake up in a state of dehydration. Your blood is a little thicker. Your organs are a little sluggish. Now, what happens when you pour coffee into that system? Coffee is a diuretic. That's a medical term that simply means it makes you lose even more water. It's like trying to put out a small fire with gasoline. It forces your already thirsty kidneys to work overtime, flushing out what little hydration you have left. This makes your heart pump harder and sends an immediate stress signal throughout your entire body. Now, here is the core reason why this becomes so much more critical as we get older. Throughout our lives, our body has a faithful messenger, our thirst mechanism. But after 60, that messenger gets quieter. It doesn't shout like it used to. We can be significantly dehydrated and simply not feel thirsty at all. Our bodies are crying out for water, but we can't hear them. So we unknowingly make the problem worse. And what are the symptoms of this chronic morning dehydration? Does any of this sound familiar? That frustrating brain fog that takes hours to lift. A feeling of dizziness or lightheadedness when you stand up too quickly. Or maybe it's those creaky, aching joints. That feeling of stiffness in your knees and back when you first get out of bed. This isn't just a random part of aging. It's often a direct result of starting your day in a hydration deficit. Your joints need fluid to stay lubricated, and without it, it's like running your car's engine with no oil. I think back to my patient, Eleanor, whom I mentioned earlier. For years, she complained about terrible dizzy spells in the morning. She told me, "Dr. Peterson, sometimes the world just feels like it's tilting when I get out of a chair." Her previous doctors had run all sorts of tests and found nothing. During one of our first conversations, I asked about her morning routine. Sure enough, it started with a strong, black cup of coffee. She was skeptical when I suggested a change. But she trusted me enough to try. The scientific proof is undeniable. Studies from the renowned Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine confirm that even mild dehydration in seniors can slash cognitive function by over 25%. Think about that. Just a lack of water can make your brain work as if it were years, even decades, older. When Eleanor called me 2 weeks later, there was a sense of wonder in her voice. She said, "It's the strangest thing. The dizzy spells, they're just gone." It wasn't a miracle. It was simply biology. So, here is the simple, powerful solution. This is the constructive action you can take starting tomorrow morning. Before your coffee, before your tea, before anything else passes your lips, drink a tall, 16-ounce glass of room-temperature water. Think of it as an internal shower for your organs, waking them up gently and giving them exactly what they've been craving all night. This doesn't mean you have to give up your beloved coffee. Not at all. It just means that water gets to go first. It gets to rehydrate your system and prepare it for the day. It's a small act of kindness to your body that pays enormous dividends in mental clarity and physical comfort. If you're ready to start your day with hydration, a true act of self-care, please take a moment and type the word water in the comments below. Now that we've addressed what should go into our bodies first thing in the morning, let's talk about what should go onto our bodies. This leads us directly to the second common morning mistake, a habit born from decades of well-intentioned but incomplete advice. Mistake number 2. Hiding from the morning sun. I want you to picture a typical morning. Perhaps you're sitting in your favorite armchair by the window, a cup of tea or coffee in hand, watching the world wake up. The sun streams in, casting long shadows across the floor. It's a beautiful, peaceful moment. For decades, we were taught that this was the safest way to enjoy the sun, from behind a pane of glass. We heard the warnings so often they became second nature: the sun is dangerous. Avoid sun exposure. It causes wrinkles and skin cancer. And while it is absolutely wise to be cautious and avoid the harsh, intense sun of midday, our culture of sun fear has created an unintended and devastating consequence. We are starving our bodies of one of the most essential nutrients for healthy aging. By hiding from the gentle morning sun, we are making a huge mistake for our health. Let's talk about what's really happening on a biological level. When the rays of the early morning sun touch your skin, they trigger a miraculous chemical reaction. Your skin begins to produce a hormone called vitamin D. Many people think of it as just a vitamin for bones, but in my experience, it's more like a master conductor for the entire orchestra of your body. It is absolutely crucial for maintaining bone density, yes, but it also commands your immune system, telling it when to fight and when to rest. It plays a massive role in regulating your mood and energy levels. Furthermore, that morning light acts like a key in the ignition for your body's internal clock, which scientists call the circadian rhythm. It sends a powerful signal to your brain that says, "The day has begun." This simple signal helps you feel alert and awake during the day, and, just as importantly, helps you feel sleepy and ready for deep rest at night. Now, here is the essential reason why this becomes non-negotiable for anyone over the age of 60. Your skin, like the rest of your body, changes as it matures. Think of it like a factory. When you were younger, that factory was brand new and incredibly efficient. A little bit of sunlight would produce a large amount of vitamin D. But as we get older, that factory naturally becomes less efficient. It needs more raw material, in this case, sunlight, to produce the same amount of finished product. This means that even if you spend some time outdoors, your body may still be struggling to produce enough vitamin D to meet its needs. This is why actively seeking out the morning sun becomes so vitally important. It's no longer a casual option. It is an essential part of our health maintenance. So, how does this deficiency actually feel in your day-to-day life? What are the relatable symptoms? It often manifests as a deep, lingering fatigue, a weariness that sleep just doesn't seem to touch. Have you felt that? Or maybe it's a persistent low mood, a shadow of sadness or irritability that you can't quite explain. Many of my patients tell me they just don't feel like themselves anymore. It can also show up as a weakened immune system, where you find yourself catching every cold or bug that goes around. These are not just random feelings. They are often the direct, physical symptoms of a body that is deficient in the sunshine vitamin. I've seen this pattern countless times in the lab reports of my new patients. Their vitamin D levels are often shockingly low, and I see the dramatic improvement when we make this one simple change. I think of Eleanor again. Part of her chronic fatigue was a profound vitamin D deficiency. She had been so careful for years, always wearing long sleeves and a hat, even just to get the mail. I didn't ask her to do anything drastic. I simply prescribed what she later called her sunshine appointment. She made it a ritual to sit on her back porch for just 15 minutes every morning, with her sleeves rolled up, letting the sun warm her arms. After a month, she came back to my office, and the change was visible. There was a new light in her eyes. She told me, "Dr. Peterson, it's the most amazing thing. I feel warmer from the inside out. It's like my whole body was waking up in a way coffee never could." Her energy had returned, her mood was lifted, and she felt stronger. So here is the constructive action I want you to take. Aim for 15 to 20 minutes of direct morning sunlight, ideally between the hours of 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. when the rays are still gentle and beneficial. Expose a good portion of your skin, like your arms and legs, without sunscreen for this short period. Sunscreen is important for longer exposures later in the day, but for this brief window, it blocks the very rays your body needs to start production. Think of it as taking your daily medicine. It is nature's free antidepressant. It's a free energy booster, and it's waiting for you, just outside your door. We've now hydrated our bodies from the inside and energized them with the light from the outside. This brings us to the third morning mistake, which is all about how we transition from a state of rest to a state of movement. And this mistake, I must tell you, is one of the most physically dangerous. Mistake number 3, rushing out of bed. The alarm clock blares. It's a sound we've learned to associate with urgency. Get up. Get moving. The day is waiting. So, what do? We throw off the covers, swing our legs over the side of the bed, and push our bodies upright, forcing them to go from 0 to 60 in a matter of seconds. We push through the groans, the stiffness, the aches, telling ourselves it's normal. But this abrupt, forced movement on cold, stiff muscles and joints is a recipe for chronic pain. And worse, it dramatically increases the risk of a life-altering fall. Let's explore the simple science behind what's happening in your body overnight. As you lie still for many hours, the lubricating fluid in your joints, called synovial fluid, can settle and become thick, like honey that's been in the refrigerator. Your muscles, which have been in a state of rest, naturally shorten and tighten. Your body is essentially in a state of hibernation. So, when you suddenly demand that it stand up and bear your full weight, you're sending a shockwave through the system. You're asking cold muscles and under-lubricated joints to perform a difficult task, and they often protest. Now, here's the crucial reason this becomes so important as we age. We all know that flexibility and balance aren't what they used to be. It's a natural part of the aging process. That morning stiffness, which might have been a minor nuisance in our 40s, can become much more pronounced in our 60s, 70s, and beyond. This isn't a sign of failure. It's simply a physiological reality. It means that proactively and gently managing this transition from rest to activity is no longer a luxury. It's a fundamental key to maintaining our mobility and our independence. Ignoring this transition is like repeatedly yanking on a cold, brittle rubber band. Eventually, something is going to snap. What are the symptoms of this daily shock to the system? I'm sure you know them well. It's that classic Tin Man feeling from The Wizard of Oz, where every joint feels rusted shut and in need of an oil can. It's that persistent ache in your lower back that seems to shout at you with that first step. But perhaps the most damaging symptom isn't physical at all. It's emotional. It's that general, nagging fear of losing your balance. It's the hesitation you feel before walking across a room, the way you find yourself reaching for furniture to steady yourself. This fear can slowly shrink your world, making you less likely to be active, which in turn makes the stiffness and weakness even worse. It's a vicious cycle that all starts with how we get out of bed. I once had a patient named Robert, a proud former Marine who was deeply frustrated by his own body. He told me, "Dr. Peterson, I feel trapped. My mind is ready to go, but my body refuses to cooperate in the morning. I'm afraid I'll end up falling and losing everything." Robert, like so many of us, saw this stiffness as an enemy to be conquered with force. He tried to push through it every morning, which only led to more pain and inflammation. The scientific evidence on this is crystal clear, and it comes from some of the most respected institutions. Research from Harvard Medical School has shown that a regular, gentle stretching routine is one of the single most effective ways for seniors to prevent falls. It's more effective than many medications and complicated interventions. When I shared this with Robert and with Eleanor, the concept was the same. The goal isn't to force your body into submission. The goal is to invite it to wake up. Eleanor credits her simple 5-minute morning routine with keeping her steady on her feet for decades. She told me it was the secret that dissolved her fear of falling, a fear that plagues so many of her peers and robs them of their freedom. So, here is the constructive, life-changing action I am asking you to take. Before your feet even touch the floor, before you even sit up, give your body a 5-minute gift. Start by simply lying on your back. Take a deep breath. Then, gently stretch your arms overhead, as if you're trying to touch the headboard. Feel that stretch all the way down your spine. Then, gently rotate your ankles, first clockwise, then counterclockwise. Wake up those small, stabilizing muscles. Then, one at a time, pull your knees gently toward your chest, giving your lower back a kind, gentle release. Nothing should be forced. Nothing should cause sharp pain. You are not training for the Olympics. You are simply waking your body up with kindness and respect. You are telling your joints and muscles, "Good morning. We have a wonderful day ahead, and we are going to start it safely, together." I know this might sound incredibly simple, but I was genuinely shocked to learn how few people actually do this. If this is a new idea for you, if you've never thought to stretch before getting out of bed, do me a favor and comment the word "wow" below. All right. We have hydrated our bodies, absorbed the morning sun, and gently awakened our muscles. Now it's time to fuel the machine. And this brings us to what might be the most misunderstood meal of the day, and therefore our fourth morning mistake. A mistake that is deeply woven into the fabric of American culture. Mistake number 4. The carb-heavy, sugar-loaded breakfast. Let's be honest. When you think of a classic breakfast, what comes to mind? For most of us, it's a comforting plate of toast with butter and jam, a warm bagel with cream cheese, a big bowl of our favorite cereal, maybe with a sliced banana, a sweet muffin alongside our coffee. These foods are familiar. They are fast. They are what we've eaten our entire lives. But I need to tell you, with all the care in my heart, that this kind of breakfast is one of the absolute worst ways to start your day, especially for anyone over the age of 60. It's not just food. It's a ticket to a blood sugar roller coaster that will leave you feeling drained, foggy, and weak for the rest of the day. Let's pull back the curtain and look at the simple science. When you eat a breakfast that's high in refined carbohydrates and sugar, like toast, cereal, or pastries, that sugar hits your bloodstream like a tidal wave. Your body responds by releasing a flood of the hormone insulin to quickly pull all that sugar out of your blood. This causes a dramatic spike in your energy, followed by an equally dramatic crash just a couple of hours later. It's a boom and bust cycle. Protein, on the other hand, is a completely different kind of fuel. It's like a slow-burning log in a fireplace, whereas sugar is like throwing a piece of paper on the fire. Protein breaks down slowly, providing a steady, sustained release of energy that can last for hours. Keeps you feeling full and satisfied, and most importantly, it is the essential building block your body needs to repair tissues and maintain its strength. It's the raw material for muscle. And this brings us to the critical core reason why this is so essential for us as we age. There's a medical term for a condition that affects every single person as they get older. It's called sarcopenia. It sounds complicated, but it simply means age-related muscle loss. Starting as early as our 40s, we naturally begin to lose muscle mass and strength unless we actively fight against it. This is why a task that was easy at 50, like carrying in all the groceries at once, can feel daunting at 70. Our number one nutritional defense against becoming frail, against losing our strength and our independence, is eating enough protein. And the most important time to get that protein is in the morning, to set the foundation for the entire day. What are the common, everyday symptoms of starting your day on that blood sugar roller coaster? I'm sure you'll recognize them. It's that classic mid-morning energy crash, usually around 10 or 11 a.m., where you suddenly feel like you need a nap. It's the constant nagging cravings for more sugar or another carb-heavy snack to get you through to lunch. And perhaps the most concerning symptom is the one you feel over time. That subtle but steady realization that you're getting physically weaker. You notice that your grip isn't as strong, that it's harder to get up from a low chair, that you just don't have the physical power you once did. This isn't just bad luck. It's often a direct consequence of a diet that is slowly starving your muscles of the protein they need to survive. I've seen this transformation in my patients time and time again. They come to me feeling tired and weak, and we start by simply redesigning their breakfast. The research on this is incredibly robust. Major studies published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition have clearly shown that seniors who consume an adequate amount of protein at breakfast maintain significantly better physical function and have less muscle loss over the years. This isn't a theory. It's a proven strategy. I remember Eleanor telling me about her old breakfast of toast and sweet tea. She said she always felt exhausted by the afternoon and just assumed it was her age. We swapped her toast for 2 simple scrambled eggs. That's it. A few weeks later, she reported that her afternoon fatigue had completely vanished. She said, "It's like someone turned the lights back on in the afternoon." It was that one simple, powerful change. So, here is your constructive action plan. I want you to start thinking of your breakfast not as a sweet treat, but as the most important construction project of your day. Make protein the star of the show. Your goal should be to get at least 20 to 30 grams of protein in your first meal. What does that look like? It could be 2 or 3 eggs. It could be a cup of plain Greek yogurt or cottage cheese, maybe with a few berries and nuts. It could even be a simple protein smoothie if you're not a big breakfast eater. The food itself is flexible, but the principle is not. Prioritize protein. This simple act will stabilize your blood sugar, eliminate cravings, and give your body the essential building blocks it needs to stay strong, focused, and independent for all the years to come. If you're ready to start building a stronger body with a better breakfast, please comment the word protein below. It's a commitment to yourself and to your health. We have now attended to our body's most fundamental needs: hydration, light, movement, and fuel. But our final morning mistake is perhaps the most insidious, because it doesn't concern the body. It concerns the mind. In our modern world, this mistake has become so common, we don't even recognize it as a choice anymore. Mistake number 5. Starting the day with digital chaos. Think about it for a moment. What is the very first thing many of us do upon waking? Sometimes even before our eyes have fully focused. We reach for that small, glowing screen on our nightstand. The smartphone. And in that single instant, we invite the entire world's chaos directly into our brains. We are instantly flooded with stressful news headlines from across the globe, a list of urgent emails from yesterday, notifications from social media, and 100 other digital demands. We haven't even had a chance to connect with ourselves, and we are already reacting to the anxieties of the outside world. We begin our day not from a place of peace, but in a state of reactive anxiety. Let's look at the simple neuroscience of what this digital flood does to your brain. This morning chaos immediately triggers a surge of the stress hormone called cortisol. Cortisol is your body's built-in alarm system. It's useful if you need to run from a lion, but it is deeply damaging when it becomes your baseline state of being. It puts you on high alert, makes your heart race, and primes your brain for worry and fear. Starting your day this way is like waking up and immediately putting on a suit of armor to go into battle. It is exhausting. The 5th and final habit I want to share with you does the exact opposite. It is a proactive ritual of peace. It may sound a little unusual at first, because it comes from ancient wisdom, but it is now being validated by the most advanced modern science. It involves using specific, calming sound frequencies to gently guide your brain out of that high-alert beta state and into a theta brainwave state. This theta state is a truly magical place. It's the state of deep relaxation, heightened intuition, and profound creativity. It is the same mental state that advanced meditating monks can achieve after years of dedicated practice. And here is the core reason why this becomes so incredibly beneficial as we get older. Over a lifetime of worries, responsibilities, and stresses, our brains can become hardwired for anxiety. The neural pathways for worry become like deep grooves on a record, and our thoughts can get stuck playing the same anxious song over and over. This gentle morning ritual helps to create new, calmer neural pathways. It gives your brain a chance to start the day from a place of stillness and order, rather than chaos and reaction. It's like resetting your mental and emotional compass every single morning. What are the common symptoms of a mind that starts the day disorganized and overstimulated? I see them in my office every single day. It's that chronic, low-grade anxiety that hums in the background of your life. It's the inability to get a truly deep, restful night's sleep because your mind simply won't shut off. It's that constant feeling of being overwhelmed by your to-do list, even when it's not that long. And it has consequences that ripple out into every area of your life. A stressed and scattered mind often leads to poor choices, especially with our health and even our finances. We make decisions from a place of fear, not a place of clarity. Now, I understand that this might sound a bit new age or mystical to some. I admit, I was skeptical myself at first. But the scientific evidence is becoming too powerful to ignore. Groundbreaking research from top universities like Harvard and Columbia is now confirming what ancient traditions have known for centuries. That specific sound frequencies, sometimes called binaural beats, can physically change your brainwave patterns. They can reduce inflammation in the body, improve memory recall, and activate the parts of the brain associated with emotional well-being and focus. For Eleanor, this was the final piece of the puzzle. It was the key that unlocked a new level of peace she had never known. She had carried a quiet anxiety with her for most of her life. She told me she practiced this 7-minute ritual every morning. She would find a quiet spot, put on her headphones, and just listen. She said it was like a mental shower that washed away the worries of yesterday and the fears for tomorrow. And she shared something remarkable with me. She said that as her mind grew calmer, her life seemed to become more abundant. She stopped making anxious financial decisions. Opportunities seemed to arise. She felt a sense of peace and security she hadn't felt before. It wasn't magic. It was alignment. Her mind was finally operating from a place of calm and clarity, and her reality began to reflect that. So, here is the final, and perhaps most transformative, constructive action. Before you check your phone, before you turn on the news, before you let the world in, give yourself a 7-minute gift of stillness. Find a comfortable chair. Put on a pair of headphones, and search for a theta wave meditation audio track. There are many available for free online. You don't have to do anything complicated. Simply close your eyes, breathe, and let the gentle frequencies wash over you. You can use this time to set a simple, positive intention for your day. How do you want to feel today? What are you grateful for? It is like tuning your mind to a peaceful, powerful frequency before the static of the world can interfere. This simple act can change everything. So, as we come to the end of our time together, I want you to think back to the beginning of our story. Remember Eleanor at 74? I remember her so clearly. A woman who felt hopeless and frail, trapped by aches, a foggy mind, and the quiet fear that her best days were long behind her. Today, at 94 years old, she is the living, breathing embodiment of what is possible. She's not just surviving, she is truly thriving, full of a quiet joy and a sturdy independence that inspires everyone who meets her. Her story is the powerful, undeniable proof that your current situation is not your final destination. It is simply your starting point for what comes next. We've explored 5 simple, yet profound, morning habits today. But the powerful message here is not that you need to become a different person overnight, or that you have to perfectly adopt all 5 of these things tomorrow. Please, hear me on this. The lesson is the profound truth that small, Consistent, gentle choices are often the most powerful medicine we have. This isn't about adding more pressure or more rules to your life. It's about something much simpler. It's about finally treating yourself with the same care and respect you have so generously given to others your entire life. As we wrap up, we've covered 5 critical habits that can truly transform our golden years. But I've always believed that knowledge is only powerful when we put it into action. So now, I have one important and very personal question for you. What is the one small commitment you are making to yourself after watching this video? It doesn't have to be a monumental change. It could be as simple as, I will drink that glass of water before my coffee, or I will do 5 minutes of gentle stretching in the morning. Just pick one. Please share your personal commitment in the comments below. Your comment does 2 wonderful things. It solidifies your own intention, and it shows others in our community that they are not alone on this journey. Let's inspire each other to take that first, crucial step. And if you found real value and hope in our time together today, a simple like on this video is a wonderful way to show your support and help this message reach more people. To ensure you continue on this journey with us and never miss another conversation full of life-changing wisdom, please hit that subscribe button. It's more than just subscribing. It's joining a community of people dedicated to living our best, healthiest lives together. Finally, I'd ask you to think of just one person in your life who might need to hear this message today. A friend, a sibling, a spouse. And please, share this video with them. You never know. It might be the simple encouragement they've been waiting for. Thank you for spending this time with me. Be well, stay strong, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon.